Hello, my friends. Welcome to February collective reading. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for your patience. As always, I feel like these readings are pretty close to home, and so sometimes integrating and kind of understanding the downloads takes some time for the reader. So I'm excited to bring you this message. I know that these last few months have been a lot of purging and healing from just kind of old ways of being. And so it feels like this month is no different. It feels like we are continuing to step through the dark and fully shine our light so that we can begin to heal our collective and our community. So last month for January, we talked a lot about kind of stepping into this new embodiment of yourself, this materially successful, thriving self. And a lot of that is internal work. Now, this month is kind of a different shift in focus, but still on that same trajectory of growing, healing, and stepping into a new way of being. So, as always, I will show the cards and I will walk through the kind of spread. And yeah, let's get started. So what we need to step away from in this month, what we are stepping away from, seems to be this energy of doing. Now, it is the Seven of Wands and the Whisper card. So we might have been finding ourselves doing and almost defending, really just doing a lot that we might not need to be doing. And I know that sounds vague, but so, fire energy is wands. And it really is just about this, like, we need to step back from doing things without checking in, from doing things from maybe a more prideful, egoic way. You see, this person in the card is working on their own, doing things, and we need to be stepping away from not listening to that whisper. We need to step away from continuing to push and to force, and that could also be gentle forcing, but we need to step back from doing despite what that whisper is telling us. From the last reading, we talked about trusting your intuition, really getting in tune with that voice that is that whisper, because that whisper is the voice that will always be with you throughout your whole entire human life, given that you show attention to it and develop it and grow it. And so as we've been building this intuition, we really need to move away from not listening to it and continuing to effort. Now, another way we can step back from this is forcing a situation. So, again, this could be a gentle forcing, this could be an abrupt or aggressive forcing, but really just sevens are a call to check in with our energy, check in, what is going on, what is the situation. And in terms of stepping away from that, it's like stepping away from not checking in. This whisper contains so much information, messages, and when we are ignoring it and just continuing to be obstinate is the word that's coming to mind. But when we don't listen to that whisper, it continues to stay soft and quiet. And like I just mentioned, this whisper is meant to help us and guide us on our journey forward. So what we are looking forward in the month ahead, we've got the Two of Cups and the Growing card. Now, I love those two together because what a better expression of really stepping into love in totality. This idea of love being from the outside and from the inside. This love being this connection, and I love it because we'll get into it later, but a lot of the Two of Cups is about this mirroring energy of love being external, but also internal, and this being connected. And what it feels like with the growing card is we are stepping into this rebalancing, or the cups are, I'm imagining like scales kind of coming to balance. We are finally coming into balance with this idea of love. And the thing with the growing card is that, yes, it is all in the name of growth and love, but there could also be growing pains present. Now, I'm going to read from the book. It's from the Journey deck, but I love reading the messages in the book because they're just beautiful. They did a really good job with this. And, love can be painful and love can be challenging. And I think like that is a part of the growth journey that a lot of people don't talk about. We can still love despite all of that. Now, a lot of this love that we experience in the external actually is a reflection of the internal. And so we could be stepping into this time of really uplifting ourselves and uplifting this need that we have for this fulfillment of love, with ourselves first. How can we return the balance with these two cups to uplift ourselves? And, that could be a part of these growing pains. We could have, been in this mindset of just doing for others, doing for clout, doing for ego, but we kind of left ourselves on the back burner. And that's really just something to be aware of, to be mindful of. It's nothing to shame ourselves about or feel that pain of that second arrow, which is just where we are hurt and then we kind of exacerbate the hurt by focusing on the hurt. But it's just something to notice and to be aware of. So for the growing card, and we can read the whisper too. Growth isn't about getting everything just right. It's about using what we have in front of us as a doorway. Each trigger and conflict, every time we tell ourselves we aren't good enough. These moments are invitations for us to reflect on what's happening internally. Conflicts in the outer world mirror conflicts in the inner, showing us where we still need love and healing. We are already perfect and whole, and the goal is to identify and remove everything that's obscuring our true self. As we create harmony in our inner world, our outer world will begin to reflect that. Start with where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And I think that said it so beautifully, that we are moving towards this more balanced, equal, harmonious experience of love, reflecting both in the internal and the external. Now, what do we need to know about moving additionally moving forward? So I'm going to get a sip of coffee. So a big piece, and this also kind of showed up in the last reading, is like there are going to be times when it feels really dark and it appears really dark and you feel like you can't move forward. You feel like it's just becoming too painful and you cannot. And so there are going to be times when you're feeling the least amount of trust and faith and courage. But it's through these moments where your courage feels almost non-existent is when it's so important to, even if it's just like taking the teeniest, tiniest baby step, even when you feel like you can't move forward, remember the energy. I forgot to show the cards. Remember the energy of the Knight of Pentacles. So this Knight of Pentacles is very diligent, consistent, but like they have built this momentum and they are continuing to show up. And I think that it can be really challenging and difficult when we are afraid to move forward, when we are afraid to speak our truth, when we are afraid to shine our light, when we are afraid to pour more into our cup to create more balance. That can be scary when you haven't really known another way. And let's take a peek at what the Courage card says, because I'm sure that it has some wisdom and some love, especially during these weird, darker times. Because honestly, I think we're kind of at the beginning, and this new earth and this new way of being feels like we are going to be doing a lot of the rebalancing. And right now it feels like things might be kind of out of whack and out of balance. And so we as a collective are going to have to figure out how to navigate these darker, harder times. And it's going to have to be one step at a time. When our heart truly wants something, fear often accompanies our desire. We might doubt our self-worth or abilities, flicking through a million what-if scenarios. We may fear success itself. This is totally normal. The goal isn't to get rid of fear, but to have courage to say yes in spite of it. As we do this more and more, we begin to believe in our abilities. Fear's presence often means we're going in the right direction, that there is something we truly want. Be courageous and follow the fear. Say yes to your adventure. I can feel it in my heart, just knowing that it can be so scary to move forward. But I think really just the important part of this is honing into that energy of the Knight of Pentacles, and just knowing that it's this very grounded, methodical energy, but in a way that is sustainable. And, the Knight of Pentacles isn't rushing into the dark. It's almost like he's still there still. And we just have to be confident in ourselves and in our trust, and continue, not ignoring that whisper, really knowing that we have what it takes to move forward. And it may be painful, but I think kind of like that card was just saying, when we move towards fear, we're actually moving towards something that is going to unlock and unleash this entire new energy for us. So how all of this is in our best interest, all of this, growth and growing pains and moving through the dark. We've got the Nine of Cups reversed and Curiosity. And again, I'm reading these oracle cards in reverse, but just kind of intuitively feeling out what that means. So it feels like this is all in service to kind of restoring the balance again. Because with this in reverse, it's almost like these cups have been emptied so that they can be refilled. That's interesting, and that's not something that I took from the reading when I first did it. But, this is a time when we have emptied these cups because, again, we have decided that what was in our cups wasn't fulfilling us, wasn't providing us with this emotional fulfillment, such as shown in the Two of Cups. And so we have needed to empty this. I look at the Curiosity card as it's time for us to use these experiences and use this journey to really get curious about what it is that we do feel would fulfill our needs and fill our cups. How would we feel to feel emotionally fulfilled and satisfied? What are we looking for in terms of that fulfillment? I feel like my life, at least the last year, if not my whole life, but duality has shown how these parts that we hate and we don't like really show us and make us so clear on, well, this is something that I don't want to experience again. And duality is, if you think about the yin yang symbol, there's equal amount of light and dark, and it's like we need these dark experiences to really learn and know the value of the light, and to know that, okay, if we don't want these, what is the kind of opposite? What do we want to experience? And I think curiosity offers us a path to discover what that might be. So let's go ahead and read the card. Ooh, I got to get my other cards too to draw. Treat yourself to a life worth diving into and hold on to your childlike lens of the world. Each moment in life is new and has never been experienced before. There is a vast universe of unanswered questions awaiting. There are microcosms and macrocosms all around us to explore. If life feels mundane, seek out the questions arising in your mind. When we listen to our curiosity, the path of wonder leads us to our deeper selves. Follow the mystery. And let's see what's next. So for the building for the month ahead, we have a new day and the Three of Swords reversed. So again, this is kind of just this energy of we are building on having had to go through really dark, painful moments. But the cool thing about the Three of Swords reversed, because it's a pretty scary card. This is like antithetical of Valentine's Day. But in reverse, it's kind of like, hey, this pain is in the past and you are moving through it, and you're being kind of ushered into this new day, and really building on this energy of trust, and trusting that despite, us moving with courage through the dark and moving through these painful moments, there's always a new day ahead. There's always a chance and an opportunity to start new. There's always this grace that we are being offered to start over. We don't have to choose the same thing every day. We have the power and the opportunity to choose new every single day. And I think when we are going through painful experiences, it can feel like it lasts forever. And really learning about detachment and learning that everything is so temporary, even life itself. Everything in our life is temporary, and I think we get so attached to the now and feeling like it lasts forever. But, pain is also temporary. Pain will not last forever, and it's this new day that offers us hope and light at the end of the tunnel, even though we may have been going through some really rough, dark, challenging times. So if you've been going through challenging times, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Let's read a new day. It's so cool because it's actually the first card of the book. A new day comes with a fresh start, a new beginning. So what do you want to bring with you? What do you want to leave behind? Today can be anything you want, and you can be anyone you want. Allow yourself to let go of anything that's weighing you down and set forth on the path that's calling. Remember to travel lightly and have others help you unpack if needed. Heavy luggage will only slow you down. Let the fresh energy and perspectives of a new day energize and inspire you. I love it. Oh, let's read this. Tomorrow is a new day. Begin it well and serenely, and with too high a spirit to be cumbered with your old nonsense. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Oh my God, I read that so fast. I like that. Cumbered with your old nonsense. Well, and I feel like that also kind of speaks to this emptying and refilling of these cups that provide you with emotional fulfillment. You can choose what you do want to feel and who you want to be and how you want to live. And I think that knowing that pain is temporary and knowing that these dark times will not last forever is what can help propel us into this curiosity. Again, going back into that, okay, well, what does my new day look like? What can I look forward to? What do I wish to experience? How do I want these relationships to make me feel? How do I want my life to make me feel? All of these things. Because all of the ways that we wish to feel are possible. And it starts with us really becoming clear on what that is and what that looks like for us. I'll finish and then I'll get the cards. Okay. So finally, energy that we should use as a shield for protection, armor. And we got Knight of Wands reverse and mirrors. And that's what I was saying earlier. But the Two of Cups to me is very mirrors energy. Like, look at that. So let me take a sip first. So the energy that we need to embrace, especially is this Knight of Wands reverse. So the Knight of Wands upright for me is just very like, I'm ready. I'm like almost like a viper or a snake, or it's like, like an iguana tongue, how it's just like, and like just so fast and rapid. But in this reverse, it's like kind of asking us to kind of pause and to wait before we just jump into something. It's really also a little parallel to the Knight of Pentacles energy. But in terms of everything being a mirror, I think this can sometimes be triggering for us, because it's like when things are not going right, we don't want to look in the mirror. And, you know, in a weird existential, metaphysical, whatever way, people believe that everything that we experience on the outside is just a tiny little, well, I mean, it's big on the outside, but it's just a projection of everything that's going on the inside. Some people say that no one exists except for you and whatever's going on in your brain. And we don't know, and we can't prove any of that. But kind of going along with my understanding of things, of just being this, we are all these little pieces of this big puzzle. Like, we are a mirror. If we are all a part of the same whole, then we are a mirror. Then everyone is a mirror and can be. And I know that's a lot of what Christianity taught too, just like you are a reflection of God. Even Buddha within too. Buddhism teaches like everyone is a Buddha, at least some parts. And it's like, how can we see the Christ-like or Buddha nature of the people around us, of the situations around us, of these darknesses around us, and really pulling in that energy of like not rushing into things, not to really pause and reflect, no pun intended, maybe intended, in this reflection in the mirror. How can we pause and reflect and hold space for ourselves in this mirror image that we are experiencing? And kind of going back to that whole growing, how is all of this external darkness a reflection of what's happening inside of us? How can we use this time for pausing and reflecting to really know and understand this experience we're having? And again, this all ties back to the whisper, to this voice that is ready. It's almost like having a little buzz, like a earbud in your ear, or a walkie-talkie of like, hey, I'm going to give you your next move and I'm going to guide you through this. Just make sure you're listening. And I think we are being asked not to rush into things because we are being asked to pause and move slow and go slow and listen, because this old way of being has gotten us in really painful situations where in the past we have rushed, and in the past we have tried to tie up loose ends too fast. And the thing is, like, it's hard to do that when there is pain and feelings and emotions involved. We can't just tie a bow on everything to resolve it. You know, we have to go back to that Knight of Pentacles energy and move gently and move slow. So I'm going to read the mirrors, and then I'm going to read the whisper because I feel like it's a big full circle. And then I'm going to grab my Flower of Life cards. Thanks so much for being here during this reading. It like took a minute, but I'm receiving it, and yeah, it's beautiful. Okay. So mirrors. Life mirrors us back to ourselves. Encounters in the outer world tell us about our inner world. If we keep experiencing conflicts with others, we may find we're projecting our internal struggles outward. By paying attention to what's happening in our lives, we can see where we need healing or where we can grow. Things will happen that are beyond our control, but it's how we respond that reveals our inner workings. As we move forward, remember to reflect. What's going on in your life at this moment? Can you trace that back to what's happening internally? And then this powerful quote: we do not see things as they are, we see them as we are. Wow. And then we'll do the whisper. They're in like alphabetical order, and then some of them start with the. So it's like the thes are in alphabetical order. Okay. There's a voice within all of us, reminding us what we're here to do, guiding us down the path we're meant to follow. For some of us, that voice is loud. For others, it's a tiny whisper that we can barely hear above the others. Rest assured that voice is always there, however faint. Taking time to listen will allow its insights to grow louder. The answers you seek are already within you. Tune the world around you out and listen within. Your heart knows the way. And I think that is a very powerful closing message too. Like, you can go slow. Your heart knows the way. And if your heart is calling you to be slow and gentle, then that is something that you need to trust and to embody and really continue having faith that this whisper and this guidance is divine and is carrying you through these dark times. And yeah, you're doing an amazing job. Let me get some cards shuffled. Alrighty, we got Crafting Reiki Tarot Merge. Whoa, they're all like green. Whoa. It almost looks like seasons a little bit, but not exactly. I love that though. Beautiful. Okay, let's start with this one. Tarot. A tarot. A tarot reading will inspire, give guidance, and create new paths for you. A reading is objective. There is no external authority deciding it if you have been good enough to be rewarded or bad enough to have something taken away. For everything in the outside is a reflection of the inner. Allow a reading to be what it is. Objective material flowing from your higher self to alert you to the truth and essence of you. A reading can show you where your life potential is. However, if you are not willing to make the changes that are being shown to you, or have brought you to a reading, nothing will change. Each experience gives you the opportunity to move away from fearful thinking. You have a potential to be whomever you want. Holy cow. I mean, I feel like that was kind of a message for me, but totally a message for this whole reading. Each experience gives you the opportunity to move away from fearful thinking. You have the potential to be whomever you want. And that was a big part of that new day energy too. Okay, let's do this one. We've been drawing this one a lot. I feel like this is just a message that we all need to hear. Merge. Allow your head and heart to meld together as you embrace all parts of you. The marriage of ego and soul creates an expansion and awakening where your resistance to new ways of being and thinking dissolves, unveiling the love and truth of you. Just for today, start from where you are and choose to feel the best you can in every moment. Love yourself by caring about what you say to yourself. You can choose to love your mind and all its thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and characters. Today, you can choose to say to your mind, I hear what you say. However, today I exercise my free choice not to listen. Today I choose a new story for myself, and whatever you say to me doesn't matter. For you are a part of me, and today I choose to embrace and love every part of me with a big cuddle. You are stronger than you think. You are not who you think you are. You are much, much more. I mean, if you are wondering how to choose a new way, that is how. Reminding yourself that you are in control and you've got this, and we don't have to operate from this way of thinking anymore. Big cuddle. Okay. Ooh, let's do the leaf. Turning a new leaf. Reiki. We are often drawn to a spiritual practice to feel relaxed or to feel less emotional or physical pain. However, your soul has you moving in this direction for a higher purpose. This is for you to discover who you truly are and how you relate and co-create in the universe, to see beyond what you think you know, to feel the great freedom that is awaiting you. Allow Reiki to illuminate the very truth of you. Reiki means universal life force, the breath of life. It isn't merely a process or a modality that, if followed, will enlighten and heal. It is unconditional love, the essence that brings balance to all things. Balance. I'm going to read that again. Reiki means universal life force, the breath of life. It isn't merely a process or a modality that, if followed, will enlighten and heal. It is unconditional love, the essence that brings balance to all things. Open yourself to receiving the love, wisdom, and empowerment that there is for you in each breath. Oh, I love that so much. And last, crafting. Gaze at your loving hands. How will you create and craft your life? Look at your feet and feel them on the ground. Now close your eyes and imagine that you see the earth from the perspective of space. How wondrous and beautiful it is. Green, blue, white, light and dark, infinite, endless stories being played out upon the earth. Be aware of yourself on earth, playing out and creating your stories. Now, see this all through the eyes of your higher consciousness. See the whole big picture from the perspective of space. Gently move closer and closer toward the earth. Feel yourself landing on earth and plant your feet on the ground. Intend that from this moment on, you will no longer feel bullied by life. Instead, you will create and craft your unique path. I think that's so important to intend that from this moment on, you will no longer feel bullied by life. And I think that it's so easy for us to go to this victim position, and victim just, disempowered. We move to from this disempowered place to a place where we begin to realize that, life isn't bullying us, and all of this in some weird, unexplainable way is helping us get a deeper understanding of who we are and who we came here to be and how we came to be into this world. And I think that is a shift in consciousness too, from this old way of thinking. Well, why is this happening to me? Why is all this bad stuff happening to me? And kind of shifting that into, how can I show up more for myself? And how can I let others know when either, things are not working, or they are making me feel hurt or unsafe. This is an important moment where we can take our power back. And, this isn't to say that there aren't true victims in situations, because I believe that there are. And I think it's just a call to ask ourselves, again, check in with ourselves of how am I relating to this experience? Am I giving myself power, or am I taking my power away? And for so long, we have been shown and mirrored these ways of how to take our power away and to really just feel like we are in this low, disintegrated place. And I think our new day includes rebalancing those cups and filling our cup first, and making sure that we are not pouring from an empty cup, and making sure that we are choosing ourselves and empowering ourselves and lifting ourselves up first so that we can use that overflow to uplift others. Because as we've learned, when we skip ourselves and we fill others' cups first, we feel more drained and we feel more in that disempowered place of, why is my cup empty? How come no one has been filling my cup? And we got to fill our cups first. I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad we made it through. Thanks for your patience again. I know it's a little halfway through the month, but my intention is that this message helps you wherever you are, whoever you are. And yeah, if you want to check out any of my past monthly readings, I got plenty on my YouTube. You can also check out my podcast, Embrace the Madness, where I talk about a lot of this stuff just in a podcast platform. And what else? Yeah, stay tuned for collective readings to come. I'll see you next time. Bye.